Welcome to the Shore Show. Pat O'Melia here, the Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. I'm broadcasting out of the garage today. It's a beautiful day. I could be on the boardwalk, but I have a doctor's appointment right after the show, and it's at 12:45. So by the time I break everything down on the set, on the stage there, and pack it all up, I'll be late for the doctor's appointment. So I'll just leave it set up here in the garage, and I'll be on the stage tomorrow at the Franklin Street stage. Again, we are live here in Seaside Heights. It is a beautiful day in Seaside Heights. Right now, it's like 70 degrees here. The air quality is fine. The index is like 53, so we're in good shape there. Blue skies. So if you can, you got the day off, come on down to Seaside Heights. Take the ride down. Traffic is light coming down. If you're leaving from my hometown, the land of liberty, Jersey City, you could be down here in about an hour 15, hour and a half. The beach is open. The lifeguards are on duty. It'll be an excellent day on the boardwalk. All those stands are starting to open. Everything's still open. Just that all the bratty kids are back in school, so it's not crowded on the boardwalk. It's a beautiful day. It'll be a beautiful day. It's going to be a great weekend. The only blip on the screen is Sunday, late Sunday. You might have a spot shower, but it looks like all through the weekend, don't let the Sunday bother you yet. All through the weekend, you're in good shape. There's vacancies in all the motels. Lodging is available, put it that way. So if you want to come down for a day trip, you want to stay overnight, you got all the motels, you got the Airbnb rentals. You want to stay the weekend, same deal. Come down today, stay and leave on Sunday morning. Check out. You can negotiate a later checkout instead of 11 a.m. Maybe do like a 2 o'clock. Again, everything's open. Beautiful weather all weekend. Tomorrow is going to be like in the 80s. So if you're thinking about a nice day on the beach, you probably want to stay over so you can beat some traffic coming down tomorrow because they're going to be in the 80s. Lifeguards are on duty. For that matter, they're selling beach passes in Seaside Heights. So it is an excellent day to be down here. What we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about some events. Got a lot of things going on this weekend in Seaside Heights. Some of them are paid, some of them are free, but you can certainly watch and listen to everything. So if you don't want to pay, you can sit there and listen to a concert. You got a Semper 5K marathon here this weekend with the Marines. We'll go all through that when we come back from commercial. Again, you're listening to The Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, we're back. You got Pat O'Melia here on Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights on GGR. Now, if you haven't, I assume you have downloaded the GGR app. You go to live stream to Live 365. Download the Live Stream 365 app. There's a lot of free stuff on it. It's not just GGR, but I'm only concerned about GGR. And you can listen to all the GGR shows. We'll be rolling out quite a few of them in the next week or so. It's all medical. It's civics. For that matter, we have a big election in Jersey City coming up for mayor. I spoke to most of the candidates. I said, listen, you want to be on the radio, you want to talk to the people, you can take phone calls, all that sort of thing, whatever you want to do. I spoke to Solomon, McGreevy, O'Day. I think I spoke to Masnaba Ali and Joyce. I contacted all of them. I know O'Day's going to do it. I'm pretty sure Solomon's going to do it. And we got the high school. We're setting up the high schools. I'm meeting Tuesday with Hoboken High School. I teach high school juniors and seniors and college kids studio production and radio production. For that matter, we're working on some miniaturizing the sets. We got a new mixer here. It's half the size of the old mixer. I'm trying that out. Got a new microphone here. Actually, I think the microphones I'm using are far more sophisticated than I need. But the more we can reduce the size of the set, the easier it is to get room in the schools. And even in Seaside Heights. One of the things we want to talk to Seaside Heights about adopting GGR as the township radio. Getting this miniaturized and so stupid simple to operate. If we're not taking phone calls, it's really simple to operate. When you start taking the calls, that it gets a little difficult. It gets a little two-handed then. You need to screen the calls and all. Right now, I'm not taking calls in Seaside Heights, but on the medical shows, they'll be taking calls. The city show will take calls. Bill O'Day and Solomon and McGreevy, I'm sure, will take calls. So you need another hand to do that. But for what we're doing in Seaside Heights, getting the message out about weather and weekend weather and events that are going on in Seaside Heights, it's ideal. The mayor could walk in any second, turn on the equipment, and start broadcasting. But you're going to have to make sure we got available time. For that matter, we got a young guy who's interning with us. He just graduated college. He wants to get into the radio business. Mike. Mike is now heading up the entire GGR. He's throwing himself into GGR. And learning all he needs to learn, and he'll be like the head programmer, head engineer for the radio station. We'll keep Mike with us a year or so, get him all the experience. He's learning stuff he doesn't even want to learn right now. He's learning a lot of the video stuff, but it all comes in handy. And what we do in the studio, it's a teaching studio. For that matter, probably next week or so, I might make the full decision to go completely teaching. Still doing all our shows, but with the emphasis being on teaching. We're coming back from hiatus. We're back to work next week. John Highness will be doing his show. Fernando will be doing his show. I'll be back with the city show. It'll be a hybrid city show. You'll have radio and TV involved. First half hour, we'll have radio and TV. Then we'll wave bye-bye to the TV. And the second half hour will be only radio. I am considering doing a few shows a week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a 2-hour show. Focusing on Hudson County and the cities and all that. I'm kicking that around now. I've been doing 2-hour shows here in Seaside Heights, so I'm pretty sure I can handle it. And with Mike running the radio station now, Mike can book our guests, that sort of thing. We want to get Mike all the experiences as possible, and we like to put as much emphasis and responsibility on Mike. We're throwing Mike in the deep end of the pool. So that's the game plan there. And I got a couple of kids coming in. They want to learn studio production from Rutgers. Gabby and Chase. Gabby and Chase. And I'm happy to help anyone. If these kids want to improve themselves and improve their stake in life, that's fine. I'm there to help them. We'll be working with North Bergen High School. I think we're working with Hoboken High School. We'll meet with them Tuesday. Hudson County Community College, NJCU we're working with. So it's really becoming a pretty good program. And the more kids I get involved, the more students, the more programming I'll do. We'll create programming centric to the schools. One thing I could do, I got a lot of programs on the shelf. We dream up a lot of things and we only use a few things. So there's a lot of programs sitting on the shelf that would like to see the light of day. As we bring these kids in, we'll develop these programs. Yesterday, we're working on the control van we have here for the high school program, where these kids will be able to go out and broadcast live radio or television. We just put some shelving in yesterday. We got a new key made up. If you are buying a Ford Transit Connect van, they reinvented the key. Instead of your normal key that you and I grew up with, it's like a round key with all these engravings on it. And it's a real pain in the butt to make a copy of this. For that matter, you can't get the key codes from Ford after the vehicle's 10 years old. This is a 2012. It's only got 50-some-odd thousand miles on it. That's why we bought it. So I had to get a Liberty Lock out of North Bergen. They came down. They took the key. They had to bring the key back. And they got actually made one that fits. So now I can probably get some copies of this made. I know the kids are going to lock themselves out. So want to make sure I have some copies for the key. Boy, I only have one key. I'm not realizing I had a problem with the key. And the key on these Ford Transit Connects open everything, from the hood of the vehicle to the gas cap, the gas door, all the doors. And again, it was a pricey key, but it was done. So we got a second key. So now I got one spare, but the spare is kind of worn. So it's not how reliable that's going to be. So we want to get at least one or two more copies made. I don't want to pay as much as I did, so I'm hoping I can get a better price on that. But little by little, hopefully next week the control van will be completely set. I got some moving blankets coming in. We just put a big shelf in the control van. Moving blankets will serve many purposes, move equipment, and also to cushion anything we're putting on the shelves. Mixes, our video mixes, our audio mixes, cameras, all that sort of stuff. So we're moving the program along. I'm probably going to start a GoFundMe. I get more money. I tell you, everything I do is so expensive with this program. But let's get down to the event. Let's talk about Seaside Heights. It's the reason we're here, is Seaside Heights. All right, what's going on? Again, you got the Semper 5K. It's Saturday the 13th, tomorrow. And it starts at 9. I think you register at 9 o'clock, and the race kicks off at 9:30. They're going to run across Terrace. That's the first block off the boardwalk. They've been doing this for, I guess, about 10, 15 years. I've been filming in Seaside Heights since 2009. I guess about 10 years. 10 years, I guess, they've been doing it. They actually had a terrorist attack one time. Oh, somebody planned it. Then at Seaside, they were putting explosives in the garbage cans. But that's this weekend for a good cause. Like I said, the weather's going to be good all weekend. It's going to be in the 80s, so you're in good shape. Saturday also, the Beachcomber is having Dead on the Dock, Grateful Dead cover band. That is Saturday, the 13th. For that, I'm going to call this up. It gets you the right information. I don't want to give you the wrong dupe on that. I was just looking at this morning. I went up there yesterday and had pizza on at the boardwalk at the Beachcomber. I had some pizza and calamari, and it was very good. You got Dead on the Dock. This is at the Beachcomber. The Grateful Dub, it's called, along with Sister Nancy. It's, again, Saturday the 13th. For that matter, you go just Google Dead on the Docks. You'll get the information. It starts at 7 p.m. at the Beachcomber. You're into the Grateful Dead, and I got a couple of my buddies that are real deadheads. I would not be surprised if they were not down here this weekend to see this on Saturday. You got a few other groups. You got some reggae groups in this. It's going to be a hopping time at the Beachcomber. So if you want to get some pizza and calamari at the Beachcomber, I would get there before 7 o'clock. But that place is going to be hopping when the Dead on the Dock start and the Grateful Dub begins. You got that going on this weekend. And let me see what else we got going on here. I try to make sure I get all this information out for you. But it's going to be a very, very busy weekend here in Seaside Heights. And yeah, it's really, in my opinion, it's always the best time of year. It was always the best time of year to come down here. I know Lucky Leo's has a lot going on this weekend. One of the definite best stands. Great guy too, Lucky Leo. Yep. September the 12th today. You got Lucky Leo's Broadway Fridays. So you got a lot of Broadway music going on, starting at 5 o'clock to 8 o'clock tonight at the Lucky Leo's Arcade. You got Family Fun Fridays. I think it's every Friday at Lucky Leo's. And that also starts at 5 o'clock. Just go to Lucky Leo's. You're going to have a good time. On September the 14th, you got Lucky Leo's VIP Appreciation Party. You know, again, if you're wondering what's going on at Seaside Heights, go to exit82.com. You get all the information there, all the events that are going on, and I'll keep repeating them during the show today. I'm getting texts about the catching the murderer of Charlie Kirk. We'll talk about that later on in the show. It's horrible what's happening here, what's going on in this country. But again, Seaside Heights, excellent weekend. You want to be down here. You know, the beach is pristine. Billy Ramboli and the PTW crew, they drug the beach. It's nice. It's pristine. It's nice and clean. The boardwalk is nice and clean. Billy takes a good care. He's big on the boardwalk. Billy takes good care of the boardwalk here. You got the new benches. There's all sorts of events going on in Seaside Heights. And even without the events, you got all the stands. You got all the food. Like I said, go to Beachcomber. I was there last night. I had huge slices of pizza, some fried calamari, and a Diet Coke because I have to watch my girlish figure here. But all the stands are open. Maruka's is open. JR's is open. Spicy Cantina is open. Midway is open. Steaks Unlimited. All the places are open. And if you're coming down for the weekend, you know, there's other things you can do. Yeah, if you want to stretch your dollar, of course. If you're staying for the weekend, you want to eat on the boardwalk, you want to enjoy the pizza and the cannolis and all that stuff, but you don't want a steady diet of that. You can get out on Route 37. Not the best foods. All the fast food places are there. McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, White Castle, Checker. They're all out there. Papa John's. But you got the diners also. You got Tom's River Diner. You got the Bandwagon. You got on Fisher Boulevard. You got the Four Seasons. And further down, about 7 miles off the boardwalk, on Route 37, is Fortune Buffet. All you can eat. I mean, the food is good, and there's plenty of the food. There's I got to count. I think it's 8 or 10 buffet stations. There's everything from salads to ice cream and everything in between. From soup to seafood. You like seafood? You got a lot of seafood there. A lot of shrimps, crab legs, clams. You got a sushi bar. You got a hibachi. You got the ice cream section. You got a dessert section. You got chicken and broccoli. You got pepper steak. You got lo mein. You got different rices. You got all seafood, a lot of seafood. Clam stuffing, chicken on a stick, breaded shrimp, good breaded shrimps too. It's there, and it's all you can eat. It's like $16 a person, and it's $3 for your drink, and after that, you can drink as much as you want. All the other drinks are free. So really, with a drink, you're out of there for $19 a person, all you can eat. Again, from salad all the way to the ice cream, and there's a lot of choice of ice cream there. So you'll be very happy. The food is great. Service is great, even though you're serving yourself. But they're clearing the tables. They're refilling your drinks. Yeah, you'll have a great time. And if it's raining, you can catch a movie. You got the Marquee Cinemas down there. You got the frozen yogurt guy, who's a bit pricey, the frozen yogurt guy. The frozen yogurt's good, mind you. It's a Yo Factor. On the price side, the frozen yogurt's good. But, two Sundays that my wife and I had was like $17. I mean, what could it have been, a pound? But it's good, but expect to pay. But you got other food options down here by Marquee and Fortune Buffet. Why you would go to them, I don't know. You got Jersey Mike's down there. You got pizza, pies on 37. There's just salads place there. But again, you go to Fortune Buffet, you can have all the salad you want. You could bring a family of rabbits with you. And also, if you're bringing your family to Fortune Buffet, your kids, it's 80 cents a year. So if your son's 10 years old, it's $8. So go down Route 37 to St. Catherine Boulevard. Take the Jersey Jug Handle. Cross over 37. First driveway on your right. Just keep going straight. You'll see Fortune Buffet in front. usually it's a pretty good crowd in there. The place is hopping at most all the time. So you might have to wait 15, 20 minutes, but you will be very happy after you sit down. You will be very happy with the food, the selection, and the service. Now let's get to some of the business at hand here. I'll keep coming back to the events. Like I said, we're back to work in the studio this week, so we're back in production. I'll tell you, summer goes by so quick, especially August. My God, August went by so fast. Now I'm in my September, and I have like a zillion doctor's appointments. I need to get my knees done. I'm having a very difficult time walking around now. And no matter what happens, this has been going on for years with knees. If I want to get my knees done, something's going to happen. It would be pandemic, the return of the pandemic, surgeons that get sick. Yeah, you name it, there's a problem. This year, I'm getting ready to go. Well, the end of last year, I want to get the knees done. I had the flu. Dr. Mayella, who is now retired, said, let's get a chest X-ray, make sure you're okay. So why we'll do a CAT scan, that sort of thing. Certainly, there's got to be a problem, right? The CAT scan comes back. We had to go back again. There was an abnormality. Turns out I had a blockage in my heart, 95% blockage. Well, we didn't know it was 95% until we got in there to put the stent in. We get that done. So guess what? Can't get your legs done. You can't get your knees done because you got the stent in there. You got to get the stent about 6 months. Then we got to make sure we got the cardiologist got to sign off with the orthopedic because they're going to take you off the blood thinners, which I don't think these blood thinners are working anyway outside of making me like a banana. I bruise. But, I'm a bull in a china shop. I've always been. Even my days of being a mechanic, I cut myself constantly. I'm not a glove guy. Never was. I'm going to attack the job, that sort of thing. And I cut myself often. It's my hands. I cut my heads up all the time. And I just noticed the other day, I said, I was going in the bathroom and I realized I had cut my arm. I was working on the tiny van, the control van, and I had done an oil change on the Chevy Avo. And I was doing some work under the hood. And I cut my arm. And I noticed on the bathroom when I was washing up, there was blood on the wall. And I must have teared up my arm. So I'm cleaning it off, and this blood is thick. I don't know if these blood thinners are actually working outside of making me a banana. So we'll get some more blood tests done. Every one of these doctors I go to is a blood test. I'm going to send you for blood tests. You guys all get together and just send me one blood test. But it's okay because when I got the stent put in, they put me on blood thinners, and I was losing all my blood the bad way. I went from 16 and a half count of blood to 4.2. So I was in the hospital quite a while. So I don't mind getting the blood, so I just make sure they keep doing my blood count, so I make sure that's all right. So hopefully somewhere in September or in the month of October, I get the left knee done. I got to get both of them done. The left knee is the worst one, but pain-wise, it seems to be the right one. So hopefully all these doctor's visits go well. But the way it's been through the history of my problem with my knees, there's always some obstacle that stops me from getting my knees done. All right, I'm sure everybody knows by now, the kid Charlie Kirk, a Republican, conservative. I wasn't very aware. I knew of him. I know he had a podcast, different generation. I knew of the kid, and he was at Utah Valley doing a question and answer with the students of Utah University there. And of course, you've all heard by now, he was assassinated. He was shot. They arrested somebody today. I tell you what, as soon as the footage started coming out, you knew this guy was cooked. They were going to catch this kid. Young guy, too. I don't know how these young people have so much hate in their heart. They kill this guy. A young guy, 31 years old, got 2 young children, a daughter and a son, young wife, and the guy snuffed out. Why? We'll find out why. And it's going to be some dumbass friggin' reason. But this is starting to happen with too much regularity. Yeah, the last week, the horrible murders. You had this Iranian woman on a light rail train. And this guy sitting behind, a guy was busted. You don't know rap sheet. It's like 14, 15 arrests from some serious stuff. Guys did some serious time. He's sitting behind there. I'm sure you've seen the footage. Sitting behind a woman, takes out a knife and stabs her in the neck. I didn't want to see the footage, and many people wanted me to look at it. But I did catch where she was stabbed in the neck, and she's not realizing, she's in shock, really, that she's fatally wounded. And then she falls off the seat, and this guy's walking along, and he said, I got the white girl, allegedly. There's a problem when these type of people keep getting put back on the street. Now, I'm not sure what happened with the shooter out there, but that's all becoming the political rhetoric crap on both sides. We're taking politics way too effing serious. I cover politics. I do it every day. Every day, not on the national scene, local, mayors, council people, congressmen, some of the senators, state senators, of course, assembly people. You can't take this to heart. All you can do politically is vote and hope your candidate wins. You make a good, educated vote. That's it. You're not going to effing change anything outside of your vote. You can organize, you get other people maybe to vote with you, but that's it. Once the campaign is done, you got to hope that the person who won the election does a good job for the people, that person is successful. Like I said with Trump, when Trump got elected the second time, let's give him a year and we'll look at what he's accomplished. Let's see what he does. The media friggin' hated it, and I tell you what, somewhere along the line, probably, maybe even in my lifetime, I'm 68 years old now, there's going to be a point on social media, you're going to have to identify yourself. You're going to have to put your name there. Listen, you're entitled to your opinion, everything you want to say, but we should be able to know who you are. No anonymity. No hiding behind some handle or anything like that. We have to know who you are. I think the social media has flamed the fans and radicalized a lot of these people because this kid who shot Charlie Kirk, he's probably like 22 years old from when I seen the footage. How the F can this kid have this much hate? The guy that tried to assassinate Trump. Another young guy. Where the F are you getting the hate? The difference between the two young guys, one was a good shot, unfortunately. Then you got the other knucklehead, this older guy who's defending himself in court who wanted to kill Trump. Yeah, a little bit older. Life beat him up. Yeah, this guy's had some mental issues. But I tell you what, a guy with a lot of mental issues. He's been around the world. Well, I don't understand the hate that these people have in their hearts, especially young kids. But how inflamed politics is. Yeah. Maxine Walters, she was talking about, beat up the MAGA people. Who gives a damn at the MAGA? Who cares? It's a Republican. What is it now? You're a Republican, you're a bad Democrat, you're bad, you're a Giant fan, you're bad, you're evil if you're a Giant fan or a Philly fan or something. Stop this. We shouldn't be this involved. It's the election, you do your vote. That's it. You make your decision as best you can. That's all you can do. You got to hope the person that you campaign for does a good job. You want to get involved civically? You should. But don't take everything to friggin' heart here. You're not going to win on every issue. You're not going to have a candidate that agrees with you on every issue. I say to Jersey City all the time, nobody gets the whole loaf. You're lucky you get half the loaf. You're lucky you get half a loaf of bread. Because there's always another issue. Right? Many of these people get all bent out of shape. They lost this issue. Unless it affects you personally, move on to the next issue. If a politician is doing something personally against you, that's a different story. You can have some disagreements with this person. You can dislike the person. But as far as, whatever the topic is, whatever the ordinance is, or whatever the zoning is, you fight the best you can as a civic warrior. That's how I started as a civic warrior on radio. You do the best you can. But after that, the issue, you got to be like a baseball reliever. You give up the game-winning home run, you have to forget that. Next game, it's another issue. It's another game. And you go out there and you try to do the best you can. But these people are getting so radicalized in politics. You're trying to kill people. These are young kids. And this guy, Charlie Kirk, was 31 years old. He's a young kid. He's gone. 2 kids, without a father. They're young too, when I could see 3, 4 years old. It's a friggin' shame. We have to stop this. We have to stop being this way. And I firmly believe a lot of it has to do with social media. Somewhere along the line, we're going to have to start reeling in social media. We always do. We'll let things get too far. Then we got to reel it in. At one time, movies had no ratings. We had to reel in the movies. Had to put ratings on. We have to step in. This has to be stopped. You can't allow the politics to drive you with such a manner of hatred. How the hell can you have hatred over politics? unless somebody's doing something personal to you, how the hell can you have hatred over some civic issue or some zoning issue or a Supreme Court issue? All you can do is vote. That's it. You vote and you hope your candidate is the best candidate. You pay attention to politics, pay attention to what's going on in your town. But don't become hatred. Don't hate the council person or the mayor to the point where you think it's physically harming someone. No. You become fanatical. Fanatical is from the sports, from fans. But these people become fanatical with politics. It's becoming worse than sports. Yeah, I'm a big sports guy, Yankee Giant fan. I do the jersey line with the football picks. My team loses. It's not the end of the world for me. I'm a Giant fan. I got 4 Super Bowls. I've been to 5 in my lifetime. The Yankees have been to 28 of them? I've seen a lot of them. Not all of them, but I've seen a lot of them in my lifetime. I don't sink or swim with that. It's the same thing with the politics. I don't sink or swim on each one of these candidates or every one of these issues because there's always going to be another issue. That's why people, one-issue voters, you're going to have a tough time with politics if everything's one issue with you. There's tons of issues. There's always another one. You do your best you can. You throw your support. You call your congressman, whatever the case is, or you call your mayor. You write a letter. You tweet something at him. But that's the best. You try to use what influence you have. But as far as hatred, or going to someone's home and you're trying to burn them, now, this guy's 31-year-old, Charlie Kirk. Kid's dead. This other kid that they just locked up, now, they were having a press conference at 9:30. I had to come down here and test out some new equipment. I think everything's working okay. I do have a problem. One of the buttons here we have to figure out. When they set up my new mixer here, this is half the size of the old mixer. My commercials and show music, we definitely need new theme music here. The buttons aren't in the same place, and one of the buttons are screeching at me. The radicalizing of the politics, listen, that's got to stop. How weak-minded is somebody? They get so radicalized over one issue. And you shot the kid because he's a Republican organizer? The kid's been doing this since he's 18 years old, this Charlie Kirk. Again, I didn't know much about him. I knew the name. I knew he did a podcast. I follow politics all the time. Maybe I'm a bit jaded because I do follow it all the time. I don't get that bent out of shape. I've seen sometimes where the politicians go personally at somebody for some issue. That I have a problem with. But for the most part, I go back to the former mayor of Jersey City, Glenn D. Cunningham, and I. We were friend and foe. It depended on the issue. But we knew after the issue, there would be another issue. We got along fine. But sometimes they got tense. Mayor Fulop and I on issues. Things have gotten tense. For that matter, the issue right now, we're getting a little tense over. But after the issue is done, there's another issue. He's still going to be Steve Fulop. I'm still going to be me. And we're going to laugh and giggle and whatever the case is, that certain situation. There's going to be other situations where we're going to get in each other's face. But once the issue is done, it's done. He's the mayor. We elected this guy to make decisions. The Trump, we elected this guy, and I say we. It's a country that elected him. I know the Democrat, he's not my president. Yes, he is. He's the president of the United States. And we give the guy time to see what he's talking about is accomplishing. Again, I'm going to review after 1 year. I think there's some strong merits right now with the crime. I think he's got a handle on the economy. But, you're not going to turn around this economy from where it was and turn a switch. It's going to take some doing. But I think he's going in the right direction. But again, like I said when he was elected, I'll look at it after a year. But no matter whether I approve or not, he's still going to be the president for 3 years. And all we can do now, after the election and after we cast our vote, and we've done all we can, we've done our civic duty, is hope this guy is successful. All you can know is you made your decision, you made your vote, and you got to hope the candidate wins. Is successful, and they realize the job at hand is the job of the people, not the job of the Republicans and not the job of the Democrats. It's the job of the people, and that goes from local politics to federal politics. Do the job of the people. Don't be an obstructionist. We got enough of that crap. And then, for that matter, with the Charlie Kirk, one of the Congress people wanted to get up and recite a prayer. Then a moment of silence, and somebody said, well, let's have a spoken prayer. And like the Democrats, oh, no, we're not doing that. No, and groaning. Are you effing kidding me? The guy was just effing shot. And you can't do this? There's the effing problem. The campaigns are over. Here's what you got. You got the midterms next year. You want to heighten it up. You want to get campaigning. Fine, but it's no campaigning right now. Now it's the job of the people. That's it. Do the job. You want to reduce the cost of the country. You want to downsize government. You want to make government affordable. We keep talking about affordability. Well, unless you cut things and get pricing under control, it's not going to be affordable. Now, maybe you don't have to do cuts all the time. Maybe you just have to look at things and find out where we're wasting money. That's why I had high hopes for the Doge with Elon Musk. You know, we all heard stories like the $900 toilet seat. You want to make sure your money is being spent the proper way. All right, listen, let's break for commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights Edition. We'll go over the events again when I come back. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. We'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one path stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, I'm back. Back here. Back on the air. Back. Pat O'Melia here on GGR, Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition. Working with my new equipment. I think I'm getting the hang of this. I was out playing the commercials out of order, but I was texting with my studio. They're popping up in the studio now, and we're going to do some saying that we can connect from the studio to control on location radio shows. So we'll see how that goes. Just going again over the events here in Seaside Heights. Tomorrow, you got some stuff going on today, too, with Lucky Leo's. Lucky Leo's got a lot going on today, starting at noontime. So get on down here. Hit the boardwalk. Stop at Lucky Leo's at noon. He's got some Broadway activity going on in the stand. Tomorrow, you got the Semper 5K marathon. They're running along Terrace. That's the first block off the boardwalk. And then later that night, at the Beachcomber, one of my favorite places on the board, best pizza on the boardwalk is Beachcomber. Just don't think I'll be going there at 7 o'clock tomorrow to get any pizza. Dead on the Docks. It's a Grateful Dead cover band, along with Sister Nancy. It's the Grateful Dub. Kind of like that name. You got a few genres of music there. Got some reggae stuff going on. Of course, you got the Grateful Dead cover band playing all the Grateful Dead's greatest hits. I got a couple of buddies that are really into the Grateful Dead. So they might even be there. You just never know. But it's a lot going on tomorrow. Again, you got a lot going on today at Lucky Leo's. So stop down there. Go to the boardwalk. The boardwalk's completely open. Everything is open. Like I said, you want to get some good pizza today for lunch? Beachcomber. You got all the stands. You got the lobster roll. You got the hot dog place. All these places are open. A lot of them are right now probably open just on the weekend. I know Casino Pier, the rides, they're going to be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday because, again, the kids are back in school. But all the JR's is open. Maruka's is open. Spicy Canteen is open. Of course, Lucky Leo's. The Coin Castle is open. Again, the Beachcomber. You got a Mrs. Softy stand on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights before the end of the year. I'm trying not to eat ice cream. My wife is trying me not to eat ice cream. Getting this sugarless ice cream. Oh, God. I want some Turkey Hill. But I also like Dairy Queen. I don't care if I'm going to die. I'm going to die with a Dairy Queen in my hand. I want to make sure I go and have Dairy Queen before the end of the year. And also, there's a smoothie place up there. It makes a good smoothie. And again, like you're coming down, come down today. Right now, the traffic's light coming down because most people are working. So if you got the day off, and a lot of you still got vacation time, take a ride down. You'll be down here from Jersey City or Point South. You could be here in about an hour, 15 minutes. Get on the boardwalk. Beautiful day. Again, if you got the time, you can stay overnight. You can stay for the weekend. And also, I would start making the plans for this now. You got the big Columbus Day Festival here in Seaside Heights, and they do it right. It starts the Friday before Columbus Day. It begins on Grand Avenue right at the boardwalk. And also the boardwalk is open during the Columbus Day Festival. And it's goes from the boardwalk all the way down to Central. And those are some really long blocks. You got singers, you got dancers from Italy that come in. And I know them well because they always seem to rent the room over me when we were staying at the Aztec before my kids bought a house down here. You got the food, you got Italian food, you got the kettle corn, you got the peppers and sausage, you got the cheesesteak, you got the burgers, you got the hot dogs, you got all sorts you got too much food. If there is such thing as too much food, I'm not sure about that. But I'll just use it anyways. I'll say there's too much food. You got the retail. Jersey Lottery's here every year for the festival, giving out swag. And also, you can play your lottery numbers. You want to buy shirts. You want to buy trinkets. You got the retail stands, like a little flea market they got set up there. And it's really a good festival. Goes on for 3 days. And also, we have the Ocean County Columbus Day Parade. That runs right down the boulevard. So, yeah, you got a lot of things going on in Seaside. Again, go to exit82.com. See all the events that are going on. And you'll say, this is a great place to be. I see I'm getting some critiquing here. let's see. I sound good, I'm being told. That's good. The mix is working well. I'll get in touch with Garrett when I'm on the next commercial break. Now, getting back to the news at hand, for that matter, let me get to the news at hand. Like I said, we were talking about Charlie Kirk. And then you got the young girl, the Iranian woman, that was stabbed on the light rail train. Yeah, it's incredible that we allow these creatures on the street, and we keep releasing these creatures. I don't know what happened when 3 strikes you out. Now, obviously, it's 15 strikes you're out. It's horrendous what happened with this woman. It's true tragedy. And the problem makes it even more tragic. It was preventable. This creature shouldn't have been out on the street. There comes a point when you're criminally insane, and that's what this person is when you get right down to it. You're criminally insane. There's something mentally wrong with you. You can't be on the street. You can't be among the general population. You can't be among your mom or your wife or your daughters. This person can't be there. They had another friggin' creature, animal, that in Queens, knocking on doors, said, "Can I charge my phone?" And he found these 2 elderly people who were just nice. So, yeah, you want to charge your phone? Sure. That was the last thing. This creature is, again, criminally insane individual, should not have been on the streets, tortured and torched them, and torched their house, murdered the 2 of them, sold their cell phones and their credit cards, pawned the cell phones, and was out and went to Macy's, went to a movie on the credit cards, and the police were just following the credit cards until they could find a spot where they can arrest this guy with little or no danger to the public. This creature was in and out of jail. And it's another thing. The guy's mother told the judge to lock him up, keep him locked up. He's criminally insane. But no, these judges keep releasing him. And I tell you what, the judges should be held responsible. You're the ones who are setting these people out on the street. You're releasing them with a slap on the wrist. I think someone, was it the one with the elderly couple? That the judge said, "I want you to write a note that you'll make sure you'll come back to court." Well, the guy's a career criminal, so I'm sure he'll be back in court. But this is over one of the cases where he let this guy go. And now these 2 people are dead. The judges should be held responsible for allowing these people out on the street. Somebody has to be held responsible. Listen, you may not like it. And somebody said, "Well, we can't incarcerate our way out of this." Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You don't want these people on the street, these criminally insane bastards on the street, where they could kill your mother, your wife, your daughter, your son. You don't want this on the street. We can't help them. Then they got to be incarcerated. We did this in the past. Listen, when I grew up, we go to Journal Square. There wasn't even a question about your safety. You could walk the friggin' streets at night. You can't do that now. You can't take a train. You can't get on a bus without worrying about your safety. There's a real friggin' problem. And the problem is we keep releasing these people. Or there's some mental issue. Well, hopefully he stays on the meds. Well, guess what? They're not on the meds. And now somebody's dead. What are you going to say? Oops. No. We have to have a stronger hand in this. We have to bring it in sanitary, the sanitation asylums, and we have to bring it back. You got to build jails, and we got to build jails. You can't have these people being released. I'm all in favor of second chance, not in favor of 15 chance. You can't have this. Now, the thing with Charlie Kirk, I don't know what the deal is with this young kid, and I'm telling you, I doubt this kid's more than 23 years old. How he has this kind of hate in his heart. I don't know how you protect against that. I don't know what all the facts are. You can't believe anything you read on Twitter and the internet about markings on the gun casings and that sort of crap. I don't know what we could do to prevent the young people with that kind of hate in their heart. But the guy that killed the Iranian woman on the light rail who's just getting off from work, that we could prevent. That person, that animal should not have been on the streets. The guy that tortured and torched the elderly couple, that guy shouldn't have been on the streets. But these judges keep releasing him. There's a problem with our society when we don't know how to deal with this anymore because we're weak. Back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, you went away. You just couldn't be part of the general population. You were dangerous. You were dangerous to people. And it's simple as that. I don't know what else I can say. You can't have the criminally insane walking amongst us. And that's what we have. And you got these judges. Yeah, I sleep at night. How's this guy sleep at night who let these two, the one that stabbed the Iranian woman and the one that killed the elderly couple? How you sleeping at night, Your Honor? How do you do that? You release these animals. You write me a note saying you'll come back to court and I'll let you out without bail. And now 2 people are dead. What is in their minds? How the hell do these people become judges? Is there no common sense? You got career criminals in front of you. Violent career criminals. Criminally insane, obviously. And you're setting them out on the streets. You're letting these judges letting these animals out on the streets among your children, among your mother, among your wife. We can't incarcerate our way out of this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, listen. We're talking about holding parents responsible for the actions of their kids. I agree with that. We should hold the judges responsible for their actions too. Same deal. We're passing these ordinances in Gloucester City where if the children do something, the parents are going to be charged. Okay, well, let's do that with the judges. You make a friggin' ridiculous decision to release a criminally insane, violent criminal back into the population. You should be responsible. You should share responsibility in that. Because I don't know where we go here because it's going to happen again. And there's some judges going to be scratching their butts and, I don't know what the law is. You could have put them away. Yeah, you see prosecutors fighting to put these people away. They just sentenced Robert Menendez Sr.'s wife, Nadine, to 4.5 years. For bribes, that sort of thing, taking bribes in a Mercedes, that using Bob Menendez's political influence. She gets 4.5 years. These friggin' animals get released. I'm not worried about Nadine sticking a knife in someone's neck. I'm not worried about Rob Menendez setting some elderly couple on fire and burning their house down. Bob got 7 years, I think. Nadine got 4.5. But yet these criminal freaking creatures are out on the street. Now, just had 9/11 ceremony. It's hard, hard for me to watch that. I lived it. I seen it. I was very involved with 9/11. I dedicated the 9/11 Memorial Fountain on Journal Square back in 2002. Along with Glenn D. Cunningham, we engraved it with the names of the 37 residents of Jersey City that died in the tower. Well, one of them died on Flight 93, the other 36 in the towers, along with some Port Authority police officers from Jersey City. Unfortunately, the fountain is gone now. Hopefully, Mayor Fulop will bring the fountain back. Maybe we put it in a courthouse park, wherever. There's a huge complex being built across from the Lowe's Theater where the fountain was. And I could have fought all I want, but we're not starting the progress that's going on Journal Square. So hopefully Mayor Fulop brings that back. But the fountain was there until 2 years ago. Every year we had the ceremony there, and you relived it. And, we did the names. We had the reading of the names and the bagpipers and all that. Next year's 25 years. And as I was saying last week, it's amazing how we all became so patriotic after 9/11, but we couldn't maintain that. We fell back into this political rut that we're in, this political hatred. Watching these shows last night, and I've seen them time and time again, at the towers and the falling man, it's something I'll never forget. But I think we need to come up with another way of remembering the dead and honoring the responders and commemorating 9/11. Maybe we do need to affix some sort of a designation to 9/11, a holiday or something of that nature, and truly put it in its proper place is one of the most devastating days in American history. But it also really woke up America for a while, anyway. But we need to bring the future generations on board as to the devastation of 9/11 and what it meant to the country. Because we got kids now. I'm working with in the studio that weren't there for 9/11. They didn't see the towers fall. Didn't smell it. I was broadcasting in New York back then on Broadway, right off Canal Street. And I tell you, for the first couple of months, it was tough to get to the studio to broadcast. And you'd ride down Broadway, West Broadway there, and you'd see the lights from 9/11. You smelled it. You seen the lights from the pit. They were working out 24 hours a day. It was right down the street where for Broadway, I was right a couple of blocks off Canal Street on Broadway. You see the lights. You could smell it, 9/11 from the pit. And at night, I was delivering trailers to pay for that radio show. You have to stop at the tunnel, the Lincoln Tunnel, and get the truck inspected all the time, the trailer inspected. But they let those garbage trucks go by. They're worried about me bringing a bomb in a trailer, but them garbage trucks would go zipping by me. Oh, you should check the garbage truck. Don't worry about what I got in the trailer. I got a bunch of blankets in the trailer for Bed Bath & Beyond. But to watch that, and after what happened with Charlie Kirk, and watch that, and you see how different things changed politically. After 9/11, there were American flags. Bayonne must have cornered the market in American flags back then. Every house in Bayonne had American flags out after 9/11. And how we all woke up patriotically, and we were all really one nation under God, not Republicans and Democrats. We really got to get away from that. Once the campaign's over, people, it's over. Wait for the next election. All you can do is make your vote. Don't take this stuff so to heart. Do your vote. Make an educated vote. Get community involved. Go to your council meetings. Talk to your council people and mayors. That's it. Don't bring a gun. Don't get that emotionally invested that it turns to hatred. Just do your civic duty. Make your vote. Make an educated vote. And hope the candidate that wins does the job of the people. That's all we can really do. New York City, where money obviously means nothing. They just passed an ordinance. They overrode Eric Adams, who I think is going to drop out of the race, by the way. They got to clear the decks that it would be Cuomo versus Mondani in New York. I think Mondani's still going to win, but they got to clear the decks and get at least get Eric Adams out of there. Not to three-way the Democratic vote. But Eric Adams vetoed an ordinance that was going to guarantee supermarket delivery people, I guess it's the Instacart people in New York City, a minimum salary of $21 an hour. This is to deliver food. My attitude, if you take a job, you know what the pay is when you took the job. I remember we had a big issue in Jersey City about the starting pay for police. And I remember saying, well, we don't seem to have a problem attracting. Back then, we didn't have a problem anyway. Attracting people. They know what the pay is when they took the job. People were talking about the pay for rookie cops. Well, they knew what the pay was when they took the job. You know what the pay is when you took the job. Now, they keep talking about minimum wage, and you got to have a living wage. You're not raising a family on minimum wage. It was never a living wage. It was a minimum wage. It was basically what you would pay kids to work in the studios, and they've completely perverted that now with the minimum wages. That it makes it so hard that you're not going to hire these kids because you're forced to pay too much to train kids and bring them along because of how we're trying to push minimum wage into a living wage where you can raise a family on it. No, you can't. You have to. You want a real wage, you've got to learn a skill. You got to have a craft. You got to have some capabilities. That's why I open my studio to young people to learn. So, somewhere in the future, when they're done with school, they'll have a real good operating knowledge of how to frame a shot, and how the cameras work, and how the lighting works, and how the audio works, and how the editing works, and how you do your graphics, and how you do your shading, and how you do your filtering. How we build a set. How do you build a set? You just throw the cameras there and a chair and some desks. There's a purpose. How do you point these these lights? These lights are doing something. You have to train that. Same thing with the radio. There's something we're doing on radio. Why are we doing it? You acquire that kind of skill and that knowledge and that experience. And guess what? Then you can get a good job. or you go to school and or you go to vocational school and you get to become a plumber or an electrician. You get a good job. You get good pay. Or you go to college and maybe you become a doctor. You become a lawyer or an accountant. Probably the boringest job in the world being an accountant. I'm not a numbers guy. You can show me numbers until I'm blind. I just don't get it. I'm just not a numbers guy. I'm a creative guy. I'm a dreamer. I see things other people don't see. I can see how I can repurpose things. But when it comes to looking at numbers, I'm not the guy. I'm not that person. But the thing with mandating how much a private sector business is going to pay a person who's delivering food is effing ridiculous. For our delivery guys who delivered pizza all these years, they got I don't know how much they got from the pizzeria, but they were basically working on tips. And they seemed to do that for years and years and years. So I don't. That's why I have a problem when government gets in small business. They put these mandates out there. They don't have funding the mandates. We have to fund them, small business. And really what they do, they start to hurt the hiring. They talk about creating jobs. Well, yeah, you're going to have a problem hiring somebody when you got to pay whatever the minimum wage is. I'll hire you. I remember hiring kids in the studio. I remember this one. I'll leave his name blank. I already hired a guy as an editor. I was going to bring him along. He came out of school. And he had the operating knowledge, but we'd bring him around the rest of the way, which we did with a lot of people. Pretty much everybody who's come through my doors is still in the business of television, and now we're adding a radio aspect to it. And this young kid came in, and he was showing me this thing he did with Legos on film. I didn't need the guy. I had no need at all. So I looked at him, I said, I tell you what, I'll give you a shot. I'll give you $10 an hour if you want to work here. Yeah, I didn't need him. The kid said, yeah, I'd like to work in the studio. You can't do that anymore. And that kid worked with me for a couple of years. Now he's moved on. Everybody usually does 2 or 3 years with me. It's like community service. And then they move on, hopefully to bigger and better things. And most of my guys have moved on to bigger and better things. But they're still around if I need them. Like if I'm doing a debate, I'm going to bring some of my old guys back that haven't been in the studio in a while. They're still around. And if I need them, I can reach out and get them. But what they're doing with minimum wage and what they're doing here in New York, where you're going to make the supermarkets pay this guy $21 an hour to deliver groceries, you're just going to hurt. You're going to cost jobs. Because you're not going to hire people for the $21. I go pick up your own food. I personally don't like Instacart. My wife likes it. I like to go to ShopRite. Especially today's ShopRite. Today's ShopRite has everything in it. You want to buy a TV, they got it at ShopRite. Printer paper, they got it at ShopRite. Anything for the office, they got it at ShopRite. You name it, ShopRite has it. Not like when I worked at ShopRite in Jersey City. I worked in pretty much all of them. For the Singers ShopRite, I worked on Sip Avenue, I worked on Bergen Avenue, I worked on Columbia Park, I worked on 8th Street. They moved me around all over the place. It was basically just food then. Not anymore. It's everything in there. For that matter, I'm looking at 2 Mr. Coffees, 12-cup coffee pots. They're still in the box up there. They were actually selling them for $8, brand new. Did I need more? No. I have one in my office. I got one behind me. I gave my daughter one for the Airbnb. I got one in the house. But for $8, could you say you couldn't turn it down? But ShopRite had these things. I'm like, I had to check it. You really want $8? We got it. Then I told my wife, we should go back and get more. And we did. And I got 2 on the shelf up here in the box. I got backup coffee pot. ShopRite has everything. I don't care what you need. You need a light bulb? They got it. You need a coffee pot? They got it. You need a TV? They got it. You need air conditioners? They got it. Printer paper? They got it. All that stuff they got. You need paint? They got it. So, they go to ShopRite. We go food shopping. First of all, I like to touch the food. I like to look at it. I want to see what I'm getting. Yeah, we're getting roast beef. I want to see the guy cut it on the dick side. I'm eating shrimp salad. People going to the beach. I see them walking by with that. Everybody's got these collapsible carts. I got to look into one of those. I should probably get one of these collapsible carts for the control van here. When we're moving equipment, I got a kind of a collapsible cart I got in the studio to bring equipment down. Maybe I should get one of these collapsible. It actually looks like it's kind of an accordion-like cart. But ShopRite has everything. You name it. But since I had the stent put in, I'm trying to eat healthier, eating a lot of seafood. I'm getting shrimp salad and roast beef. I like ham, but can't eat ham anymore. A lot of things I can't eat anymore. White rice, I like white rice. Now I got to eat brown rice. But you can get anything at ShopRite. It's there. ShopRite has everything you need. Motor oil? Got it. Rain-X? Got it. Yeah, it's all at ShopRite. Whatever you need, they got it at ShopRite. It's not like the ShopRites of my youth. All right, let's break for commercial. You're listening to the Shore Show, Seaside Heights Edition. I'm Pat O'Melia here on GGR. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. Comprehensive healthcare here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. GGR with you. 2-hour show today. 2-hour show every time we do the Seaside Heights show. On my new switcher here, as I figure things out. Yesterday, don't forget, download the Live 360. Tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your friends, tell your mom's friends, tell your uncle's friends to download the Live 365 app. Go to GGR, and boom, you can listen to everything we're doing here. For that matter, if you follow us on Twitter, you got the QR code there. You can just scan it and download it, and you'll be listening all you want. Yesterday, I was at the Hudson County Commissioners meeting in Jersey City. That was a long, tedious meeting, especially for a guy that's done so many of these meetings. So many. It's like, oh, please. I've lived these meetings for the last 30 years. Down there. And you had people talking about the immigrant trust here in New Jersey and sanctuary cities and not cooperating with the ICE officers. Here's the deal. First of all, ICE has been around forever. It's always been the ICE agency. As much as the Trump administration is trying to corral the 20 million or so people that the Biden administration let cross the border with impunity there, trying to corral them and get them back. We literally absorbed 2 New Jerseys population-wise. He'll probably never deport as many people as Obama did. Obama deported like 5 billion immigrants, with the same guy, Tom Homan, by the way, that Trump has running ICE. Yeah, people act like ICE is something new. It's not something new. ICE has been around for years and years. I remember as a kid down on the Hackensack River seeing people jump out of the windows of a warehouse because there was an ICE raid. And this is going back in the early 70s. Yeah, ICE has been around forever. And you know what? The same immigration laws have been around since the 70s. If there's a problem with the immigration laws, then we should change them. But here's the problem. Nobody has the will to change it, whether it's Republicans and Democrats, no matter who's in complete control, who's got the White House, the Senate, and the Congress. Nobody seems to want to change that. So we have the exact same immigration laws that we had in the 70s. Now, we have people speaking to the commissioners about enforcing the immigrant trust here in New Jersey and trying to declare Hudson County a sanctuary city. Now, of course, the federal government is going after the sanctuary states and cities right now, so I'm not sure that's the wisest move. But, you keep pointing to the Trump administration for this ICE crackdown. No, the ICE has always been around. The problem is we've allowed 20 or so million people to come in the last 4 years. They had to be corralled and sent back because, New Jersey, I reported on this in the City Show a long time ago, spent around $7 to $8 billion on illegal immigrants. That money could have been used for your kids, your schools, many causes. But that went to illegal immigrants, and that's going on in many of the northeastern states. Biden was flying these immigrants around to different states, just distributing them. So now we have to. It is the law, and that's what people seem to miss here. What is the law? The laws on the book has to be enforced. We just can't turn our back on laws. We're a nation of laws. You don't like the law, change it. Elect people that are willing to change that. But it doesn't seem to be the will to do that. Ever. It's the same, like I said, when they were jumping out of the warehouse back when I was a kid in the early 70s. It's the same immigration laws today. That's going to change unless we change it in Washington. So, and as far as preventing law enforcement cooperating with ICE, where else should we stop cooperating with the federal government, statewide or citywide? Where else you want to do that? When you got your hand out for money, you want to stop cooperating? I love that. We're not going to cooperate with the federal government, but then you're trying to get all these federal grants. You can't have it both ways. It's always been Fed trumps state, state trumps, no pun in there with the Trump, municipal, and so forth and so on. The federal government is what gives us our freedom. And we all have to be in step with the federal government. We have to abide by the laws. Simple as that. We have to enforce the laws. Like getting back with these heathens that are on the friggin' streets here. These career criminals, these criminally insane. We have laws on the books that we're not abiding by, and we have to start enforcing them. Let these people go 14, 15 times after committing heinous crimes. Come on. Law enforcement has to cooperate with law enforcement. You just can't have, right now, the FBI is investigating Charlie Kirk. All law enforcement is cooperating right now in Utah. What are you going to say? No, we're not going to cooperate with the feds on a major crime? Of course we are. But we got these ideologies and this woke experience we're going through right now that are trying to prevent that. Supposedly there was a situation in Braddock Park, that's a park in North Bergen, New Jersey, where they seen people allegedly with a mask and guns. And the Hudson County Sheriff was there and spoke to the people with the mask and the guns and didn't lock them up. So either, obviously they were probably ICE agents. North Bergen has a heavy Latino population. They probably are tracking down some leads as to where there were illegal immigrants. And these people at the commissioner meeting were saying, we want a declaration that Hudson County will be a sanctuary county. That's not going to happen. I never see that happening there. I think the days of the sanctuary are going to end very soon because it flies in the face of the federal government. Again, federal laws. Federal trumps state. And you want money from the feds for your highway projects. You want money for the feds for your housing. You want money for the feds. They got to work along with everybody. But really, you want to look at the ICE situation. Point to 4 years of Biden. All the government's down is doing is cleaning up the Biden mess, because you really can't absorb 2 New Jerseys with people coming in. And like I said, New Jersey was $7-8 billion last year just for illegal immigrants. Now, there is a way to immigration here, the legal way. It takes a while, yes. You have to jump through hoops, yes. You have to take a test, yes. That's our laws, and they've been there like that forever. But people, they keep neglecting to mention what the laws are. They want to ignore the laws. They want to interpret it the way they wish, or basically just ignore them. And there was one group that was looking to get money from the county for illegal immigrants. So you want tax dollars to help the immigrants. Well, that's what New Jersey did. New Jersey was providing legal services free that you were paying for illegal immigrants. That's money that could have been used for homeless vets, seniors. We don't do enough for the seniors here in New Jersey. The schools, I got schools that are going broke, filing for bankruptcy, selling off assets to try to plug their budget gap because we have a problem with school funding, which brings me to we got a governor's race right now. And it looks like I've seen what was the one this morning I seen here? It looks as though, let me get another note from the next here saying, all right, we're working on some projects here, trying to control radio shows that are on location from our studio. But there was a poll this morning I read. Let's see, New Jersey race for governor even closer, most stunning poll yet. And it looks like Citarelli in this poll is pulled within 2 points of Mikey Sherrill, which is pretty amazing. And you got a plus minus of 4% in this poll. Let's see. The recent poll was conducted by the Natural Research Incorporated. All right, so I guess a legitimate place. Yeah, not long ago, Citarelli was down by 20 points. So here he's down, by 2 points. So it's looking like to be a very tight race. And that brings us, again, when I was talking about making an informed vote, you got to study both Citarelli and Mikey Sherrill. Don't do the Republican, Democrat, down the line. You got to make a real choice. You want to send the same people back to Trenton? If you're happy with how Jersey's running right now, then send the same people back. I doubt if that's the case. Some of these people deserve to go back. Some of them certainly do not deserve to go back. You have to make that decision. You got some strong votes that have to be done this year. Governor, of course, your assembly seats are all up. So you've got to make a decision there. Who you want to send to Trenton? You want to send the same people? Okay. A lot of my friends are some of these people who are in Trenton. Friends or not, I'm probably not sending them all back. I'm not happy with how Trenton has been operating. Like I said before, I'm more of a missionary. I'm going to vote for who I think the best candidate is. In the past, I voted for Reagan. I voted for Clinton. I think Clinton, even though Clinton had an interesting time in the White House those 2 terms, I think it was probably, in my lifetime, the best president we ever had. Either him or Reagan, one of the two. I'm going to vote for who I consider the best possible candidate. And you need to do the same thing. Research, look at what their issues are. For that matter, there was a commercial they were running yesterday. The Dems were running it on Twitter. Actually, I on Twitter, who ran this thing? Actually, I commented on it. I normally don't do that. I replied. It was something there about Jack Citarelli with the sales tax. that he's saying he would raise sales tax by 10%. What a doctored friggin' audio capture this was. Oh, I mean, what terrible editing. I mean, it was awful editing. Yeah, this is David Cruz put it out. It was tweeted by the NJ Dems. It is a blatant, heavily edited. I must be like 8 edits in this 20-second clip where they're just manipulating what Jack Citarelli's saying. And it's supposed to be something at Tennessee where he was talking about what Tennessee doing with their sales tax. There isn't anything about him saying it here. That's why I was saying it last week. There has to be some truth in political advertising, not this blatant BS that the New Jersey Dems posted concerning Jack Citarelli and sales tax. Do your research and keep your eyes open because there's some really low, snaky people who put that audio clip together. But anybody with a brain will see how heavily edited this thing was. My God, it was bad editing to boot. Make a good, informed decision. But you got to deal with this for the next 4 years. Next 4 years, we got to deal with whatever our leader in Trenton is going to do, whether it's Cheryl or Citarelli. You got to make that choice. I'm going to study it. I'm not happy with what happened with Murphy. I'm not sure I'm going to hold Mikey Sherrill to what Murphy has done. I'm not going to go with a guilt by association there. But some of the things Mikey Sherrill has said has concerned me going forward. But I still haven't sat down and really analyzed the two of them, more of a mercenary. Like I said, I'm not crazy about how things go in Trenton. You have to look at these two candidates and look at your assembly people. Because you don't need discourse down there either. You know, you'd like to try to everybody on the same page. And we got to get out once the campaign's over. It's the job of the people. And that's the main thing. It's the job of the people. That's what I need in Trenton. People who want to do the job of the people in the state of New Jersey. You got to make New Jersey affordable. That's as simple as that. It's a big issue in Jersey City right now. We're going to be doing some debates on the 30th. Where I'm producing a debate for New Jersey City University with Hudson Media. And that'll be at 6 o'clock. It'll be on Twitter. It'll be on Facebook and YouTube and on Comcast Cable. Then on the 22nd is the Hudson Media debate, which will probably be a hot one because it'll be real close to early voting. Make an informed decision. Look at the candidates. You want to make sure you're sending the best possible candidate to Trenton, whether it's the governor or whether it's the assembly. And in your municipal races like we have in Jersey City and also in Hoboken, you have the mayor's races there in Jersey City. It's also all the council people are up for election. You want to make a good, informed decision on who's going to be guiding your city for the next 4 years. Same thing with Trenton. We're going to make sure we got the right people down there. The last thing you need is any more of the crap we've gone through. And, the budget is way up. Now, I'm very disappointed in Murphy. I had a high hope for him. Now, I was hoping we would do municipal consolidation, school district consolidation, shared services. We had like 2 municipalities merged. That was it. I got 565 school districts. This is why the school funding is so friggin' ridiculous. We don't need 565. 21 would be fine. We got 21 counties, 21 school districts will be fine. There should be no reason why it costs more to educate a student in Jersey City than it does in Toms River, which it's almost twice as much in Jersey City. That's wrong. Yeah, the teacher salaries are the same. Pretty much, the teacher salaries are off the table. Yeah, that's not a negotiable item. Everything else we got to look at. It should be good, solid funding. Union City shouldn't get more school funding than Jersey City. That's ridiculous. It's like 5 times the size of Union City. Then you got the Abbott district. Hoboken is an Abbott district. The state will build their schools. Across the boulevard, you got North Bergen, where I got my studio. No Abbott. They got to pay for their own schools. Yeah, everything comes from the property owners, the property taxes there. Yeah, Seacork is the same way. Yeah, how is it possible? The whole formula, not only just the funding, the whole formula, who's getting what? Again, how is Hoboken an Abbott district? And North Bergen has to pay for everything on their own. That doesn't make any sense. But that's the problems with how we're funding the school. And the school funding is the largest part of your property tax. we got to get a handle on that. Jersey City, I got a school budget of over $1 billion. My old elementary school, PS 23, is like $54 million a year to operate. That's impossible. How can it be that much money? But that's what we have. So that all has to be looked at. We just had the former president of the Jersey City Board of Education admit to taking bribes. That's probably an indication of what's going on at the Jersey City Public Jersey City Board of Education. Is probably a lot of waste and some dark money there. So all that has to be looked at, and hopefully we send the right people to Trenton, and they'll look at that. And somebody's trying to reach me here. All right, listen. Let me break for commercial. Might be one of these doctors. You're listening to Shore Show Radio. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design studio and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, J.C. Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just 1 pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here, GGR. That was a BS call. Some robo damn thing. Had a 201. I thought it was one of the doctors I was saying. All right, back to the show. Here again, Shore Show Radio, Seaside Heights edition, live from Seaside Heights. Yeah, I mentioned before, we're coming back to work next week in the studio. Shows are back in the production. And during hiatus, we do a lot of upgrading of the studio, a lot of upgrading of the equipment. We changed the look of the shows. We got the control van. We got a lot of audio equipment. I want my high schools to get in the radio business because I can only bring them into the studio a couple of times a month for 4 or 5 hours. So I'd like to keep these kids occupied media-wise. So we want to put the radio shows in the school. And one of the other things we're upgrading our cameras. We're going to 4K and Canon cameras, XF 605s. We've gone from the XF 300s and 305s. And we're getting 4 new ones. 4 cameras across the way. But I'd seen on B&H they had a used camera there with low hours. And I said, oh, that's pretty good. So I said, let me get this camera. I bought it. It's like $4,000 for the thing. But it was used, but low hours. And I trust B&H. I've been dealing with B&H in New York since I opened the studio back in 2004. I bought tons of equipment. Everything in my studio is pretty much from B&H. Well, first of all, we get the camera. That's in good shape. But they had the wrong lens hood. Turns out the lens hood was for XF 705 instead of a 605. So somebody mixed it up. I called B&H about it, and they didn't have one in stock, and it was like, well, that's how it is. It was a little aggravated, but it's all right. I can live with that. So we're putting the cameras into service, and it turns out that same camera has an HDMI output problem. So now I'm really mad, but I want the camera. You got a good price on it. No, I want the camera. So I'm going to bring it over to Canon in Lyndhurst. I've been standard on Canon since 2004. My first camera was a GL1. Then we went to GL2. Then we went to the XL2s, which is probably the best camera Canon ever made. They were really good. I still got them. They're really good cameras. But there was always a lineage between the GL1 and GL2 and the XL2. You didn't have the whole learning curve with them. When we went from the XL2s to the 300, it was like we were learning another language. There was a huge technology jump. So I stay with Canon, so there's less of a learning curve, and especially when you're just jumping a couple of models like we did here. Well, I need it fixed, and I need it fixed quick. So I'm going to bring it over to Canon and Lyndhurst down by the medieval times there. I drive all the way out there. They're not there anymore. I actually called Canon to make sure they were open. And the phone was transferred to Canon office somewhere. And I said, "Are you sure they're open?" "Oh, yeah, I'm certain they're open there in Lyndhurst." "You're fine." Well, all they're doing is lens repairs now. If I want my camera repaired, it's got to go to Newport News in Virginia. So, not doing that. So I found a place, actually in Brick Township, not far from Seaside Heights. So I'm going to bring the camera there today. I spoke to them. They'll do the HDMI repair. So I called B&H. Now, again, I let the lens hood slide. You're buying used. I bought, used car, that used truck. I know I had to do some repairs. But before I bought that used truck, I tested it. And whatever needed to be fixed, I made sure, in this case with Epi's in Tom's River, did the repairs. And there was some stuff, I'm not going to ask them to repair because I'm kind of anal with auto repairs. I want some things a certain way. I'm changing all the hoses and all the belts on the van. I don't want any hoses or belts blowing on me, even though they look fine. I don't know how good they are because I can't tell. But once I put new ones on, I'll feel very confident. I trust B&H to test their equipment. They put a grade on it. And the grade on this was like 9, and the best you can get is 10 some. So I call them up and tell them what the problem is, and I tell them I'm getting it repaired. "Well, let me tell you what our policy is." I said, "Let me tell you what my policy is. I'm getting this repaired, and you're going to pay for it. You're going to make me whole." And you know what I said the other day about the lens hood? I'm not letting it slide anymore. I want that too. "Well, you have to get an okay." I said, "I'm not getting an okay from you from anything." Now, listen, I can't hurt B&H. They're a huge company. I'm not taking them down. I do a lot of civic issues. I got a pretty good batting average with civic and municipal and county issues for people. I fought Home Depot. I fought big companies, bigger than B&H for that matter. I'm not going to run them out of business or anything like that. But like I told the guy, I could be a mosquito, and I'll just be a pest. And eventually somebody's going to say, "Let's do something about this pest," and you're going to make me whole. Now, I'm not even asking money. Just give me a store. Whatever it is, I'll take a store credit. But I'm going to be made whole. And the amazing thing with B&H, they normally have really good customer service. But in this case, they want to fight. I'll take the fight. I don't mind it. Like I said, if I have to be the mosquito, I'll be the mosquito. But eventually, you got to do something. You may want to kill that mosquito, but you certainly want that. We want that mosquito gone. So I'm assuming, and I'm certain, B&H and I will come to some sort of an agreement. Because I've taken on car dealerships, I've taken on Home Depot, I've taken on some big battles. And I've won them. I got a person a brand new furnace in their house because they got bad service. It turns out it was bad service on this furnace that they had. And I got a brand new furnace free of charge. So I normally battle these things, and I win. Because this microphone and those cameras, they carry a lot of weight. And these companies don't want to see me bitching about them. Now, I'll bring back the wall of shame. I had the wall of shame for years. But I'll keep you posted. I hope I'm going to drop the camera off today. I got a doctor's appointment after the radio show. I'm trying to get myself set that I can get my knees done. But I'm taking so many medicines that it's upsetting my stomach. So I'm seeing a gastroenterologist today. Guy looks like he's from Jersey City. Good doctor. Get to see him. Then next week I got a blood doctor, a hematologist. Is it? Yeah, that. Then I got a cardiologist. And then I got a primary. Then I got an orthopedic. Then there got to be a conversation between the cardiologist and the orthopedic about I'll sign any waiver. If they're worried about me dying on the operator, so I'll sign a waiver. Everybody's free. Give me a DNR. If something goes sideways, just let me go. I've lived longer than especially if I had to get a colonoscopy. Just give me the DNR. I'm done. Jersey Line is up. Jersey Line is a piece we do every year where I pick the NFL games. I'm pretty successful at it. Last week I went 8-8, but this year not only am I picking the games, ChatGPT is picking the games. And I went 8-8 last week, and ChatGPT went 9-7. We both won last night with the Green Bay Packers versus the Washington Commanders. I'll never get used to saying it. Two teams I can't get used to name changes. The Washington Commanders, who should be the Washington Redskins, and the Los Angeles Chargers. They will always be the San Diego Chargers, and they will always be the Washington Redskins for me. But I won both of those games. We both won those games last night. I think there's 5 games difference between me and ChatGPT, so we'll see how we do. He's 1 game up on me. But I normally do well on this. I guess I think I'm going to probably pull out 10 wins this week, I hope. But when you watch these guys on YouTube, I'm actually betting the spread. Whatever the spread is, it appears on the screen. You got these guys, they're predicting the games, but, last week I went 88, and I watched what these other guys predicted, and we're pretty much in lockstep, And all of a sudden they go, well, we went 13-3. So you didn't go 13-3. But then you look at it, all they're doing is predicting the winner, not predicting the point total. They'll give you points. They'll show what their final score will be, but they're not predicting the points. They're just predicting the win. So if I go back on my sheet, I'm probably 13-3 also. But I'm actually playing the spread here. So and that's how you want to go on FanDuel, who I would, if you're going to do any betting, do it FanDuel. Pretty good operation. I always felt they were fair with their lines and their pays. You get your money a couple hours after you win. If you got a gambling problem, don't bet. Usually, if you're not winning, you have a gambling problem. But if you're interested, it's up on your YouTube, Hudson Media Group on YouTube, and of course Hudson Media Group on Twitter. You can see my picks, and you can bet the mortgage. Don't bet the mortgage. Actually, on FanDuel, you can bet like $1. You don't have to bet, $40 or $50. You can bet $5 a game. They give you the up-to-date spread, and it's a good spread. So Jersey Line is up. I'm looking to have a very successful year. Last year, the first 3 weeks, took me a whole year, the whole season, to dig myself out of that hole. Giants no looking too good last week. The quarterback controversy has started already. It's only a matter of time before Dart. Russ Wilson, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't good. And you got the Dart kid there. I tell you, the Dart kid reminds me of Phil Simms. I predicted the Dart kid will be starting by the game 6. He might even get in there quicker than that because Diebold was this week. He wasn't committing to Russ Wilson until I think yesterday, the day before, as the starting quarterback for the second game of the season. So if your head coach isn't committing, you already have a controversy brewing there. So and Tommy DeVito's up with the Patriots now. I tell you what, the Jets against Pittsburgh, that was much closer. I lost that game. That was much closer than I thought it was going to be. I thought Justin Fields looked pretty good. Yeah, he could tighten up the spiral on the ball a little Billy Kilmerish with his wobblers up there. I thought the Jets looked pretty good. The Steelers have a pretty damn good defense, and they put some points on Pittsburgh. I think the Jets are going to have a fairly good year. Are they making the playoffs? They're the Jets, so no. But I could see them getting, maybe 7 wins this year. And the Justin Fields, we'll see how this goes. I know a lot of people want him to tank for Arch. You can tank all you want. The Manning family will pick where Arch Manning goes. Archie Manning picked where Eli was going to go. So now you not only have Eli, you're going to have Peyton, and you have Archie Manning Sr. They're like the royal family of the NFL. They will pick where Arch goes. The NFL will secretly do some deal with whoever has the first pick. I think the Jets would be a good spot for Arch Manning. With the Dart kid there, I don't think there's any opening for Arch Manning with the Giants now. Problem is, it's the Jets. And I hate to say this. I don't think whatever deal the Jets made with the devil during the Joe Namath years with Super Bowl III, I don't think it's going to change the Jets' fortunes until Joe Willie is sitting on a cloud somewhere in heaven. Because it just doesn't seem to happen for the Jets. If something weird is going to happen, it's going to happen to the Jets. And it just seems no matter who is – you brought in Aaron Rodgers, a definite first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, and he turned into a Jet right before your eyes. Like, what was it? Was it the third play? He blows out his Achilles? Right there, he was a Jet. It happened. The curse of whatever curse it is, whatever deal the Devils made with Joe Namath and the Jets and Weeb Eubank back then, it's still in place. It's like the curse of the Bambino or Bobby Lane with the Detroit Lions. It's still there. Then the second year, Aaron didn't play bad last year, but he was jetified. It's simple as that. Now he's with Pittsburgh. He looked pretty good. I think Pittsburgh's going to have a pretty good year. I think the Jets are going to do quite well. I can see that going on. Let's go back over what's going on in Seaside. Remember tomorrow, Seaside Heights. Seaside Heights tomorrow. You got the 7-5 5K marathon, 5K race. What do you want to call it? They'll be running along Terrace. That's the first block, first street off the boardwalk. They'll be running back and forth there doing 5K. That is open to public. You can line the streets if you want. The boardwalk will be open. Some of the stores will be open at 9. Usually they don't start really pulling up the gates until about 10 o'clock. You got tomorrow, you got Dead on the Docks at 7 o'clock at the Beachcomber. Grateful Dub with Sister Nancy. You got some reggae band there also. That's at 7 o'clock at the Beachcomber. There is the fee for that, and that's not free. But you can probably stand. I tell you what, when the Jersey Horns gangs are in there, you could sit outside and listen to all the music you want at the Beachcomber. It gets pretty loud in there. So I'm sure you could sit outside and enjoy the Grateful Dead cover band. And you got a lot going on. Go to Exit 82, and you'll see everything that's happening in Seaside Heights. You got good weather this weekend. You got a possible spot shower late Sunday. So that's probably not even an inconvenience, and hopefully it's very late Sunday. You can come down today. You got a lot going on at Lucky Leo's. You got a lot of Broadway stuff going on there. You got beautiful weather. I mean, really nice today. It's going to be really nice tomorrow. It'll be 80 degrees. Lifeguards are on duty. Be careful. Pay attention to the flags on the beach. And, there are some reports of rip currents, but right now it's just reports. The red flags aren't out, as I've been told, but pay attention. But everything on the boardwalk is open. The casino pier is open. All the rides are open. Stands are open. Beachcomber is open. Coin Castle is open. Lucky Leo's is open. Maruka's is open. JR's is open. Like I said, the casino pier is open. Marathon is open. This is a Softy stand that I want to get to. It's open. So everything is open on the boardwalk for your enjoyment. And like I said, you can enjoy the boardwalk. You come down for the weekend. All the motels have vacancies. It's like $80 a night, so you can handle that. And if you don't want to, have a steady diet of pepper steaks and cheese steaks and pizza at the Beachcomber, you go out on Route 37. You got the Tom's River Diner. You got the bandwagon there on Fisher Boulevard. You got Four Seasons. Fisher Boulevard is right off Route 37. And you got my favorite place, Fortune Buffet, down on Route 37 in St. Catherine Boulevard. Go down Route 37. Take the jug handle there. As soon as you pass the new RWJ hospital, and you pass Walmart second over to your right, then you come to St. Catherine's, take the jug handle, go across Route 37, first driveway, and go down. You'll see Fortune Buffet. $16 all you can eat. Your first drink is $3. After that, you can pour Coca-Cola over your head. It's all free after that. You're out of there for $19 all you can eat. And that is from salad to ice cream and everything in between. Sushi bar, hibachi, chicken and broccoli, pepper steak, soups, egg drop soup, clam chowder, seafood, all types of shrimps, clams, crab legs, you name it, desserts. It's all there. There's like 8 or 10 buffet stations. They had ham. You got kielbasa. How kielbasa got in there, I don't know. Crab meat stuffing, chicken on a stick, teriyaki chicken. You got the good string beans, really good string bean. Tons of food. Chicken nuggets, breaded shrimp, you name it, egg rolls. It's all there. That's Fortune Buffet, Route 37, right off of St. Catherine Boulevard. That's the best bang for your buck. Best bang for your buck. And you got a lot of events, like I said. Go to Exit 82. here on the internet. You got good air. The air is 53 today, the air quality index. Right now, it's like 72 degrees. Here in Seaside Heights, clear skies. Oh, nice blue skies out there. The weekend, like I said, it's going to be 80 degrees, up in like mid-80s tomorrow. Tomorrow I want to do an oil change, so it'll be nice and sweaty. That's good. So I'm do an oil change on the Oldsmobile, and I want to do some cleaning. I got this cleaning solution to clean the engine on the control van. I want to do that tomorrow. So it'll be nice and sweaty outside when I'm doing that. So that's par for the course. Hopefully my legs hold up. But you, on the other hand, could be enjoying Seaside Heights. You don't have to be doing an oil change on a 31-year-old car. You don't have to be cleaning the engine. I actually might do, if I have some more solution left for the engine cleaning, I'm going to do the Lincoln. What you do is to spray stuff, and you got my hose. What you do, you wrap up your alternator, and I'm going to wrap the computer on the control band also. You spray this stuff on, give it about 5 minutes, and just rinse it off with the water. Then wipe it down and start it up, drive it around a little bit to dry it all off. I'll give you a report on how this stuff does tomorrow. But my Lincoln, hopefully I got enough left to do the Lincoln's engine. The Lincoln's got 370,000 miles on it. Car still runs like it's brand new. It is a great car. Yeah, you want to run up and down the parkway and the turnpike? Excellent car. Problem is she's getting about 22 miles to a gallon. For that matter, the Ford van here, the control van, only getting about 25 miles to a gallon. So I think I'm going to do is get a set of plugs and a ignition packs and do a quick tune-up on that. She should be doing better than that. But normally if I'm running up and down the turnpike like during the week, I'll take the Chevy Evo, little four-cylinder, gets about 35 miles to the gallon. Gas is expensive. You know, yeah, and the funny thing is it goes up like 10 cents a gallon, starts coming down slower. Trump's saying it's $2 a gallon somewhere. I'd like to know where that is. Yeah, maybe in D.C., but it's not $2 a gallon down here. Right now, I'll tell you what, I try to make it a point now before I come down to Seaside Heights to fill up in Jersey City. It's cheaper up there, about 8 cents a gallon cheaper in Jersey City than it is down at Tom's River. But that's my plan. So it's going to be a nice weather tomorrow. I'll be under a car and under the hoods of cars working. But I take care of my cars. But you could be in Seaside Heights, truly enjoying great weather. Be on the beach. The beach is open. The lifeguards are on duty. Pay attention to those flags. They'll be selling beach passes tomorrow in Seaside Heights, so you can have a nice weekend. Same thing on Sunday. Like I said, you might have a spot shower late Sunday, but late enough Sunday you won't really care. You'll be heading home anyway. All right, let's break for commercial. You're listening to the Seaside edition of the Shore Show. I'm Pat O'Melia on GGR. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights. Your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments. Carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants. All major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets, price to fit your budget, installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, J.C. Penney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, we're back. Pat O'Melia here. Shore Show, Seaside Heights edition, live in Seaside Heights, New Jersey. And it's a beautiful day in Seaside Heights, New Jersey, around 72 degrees, clear skies. I see people going to the beach, dragging their beach equipment. Oh, look at one of those foldable carts. Looks like an accordion set of just fold it right up. That might not be a bad idea for my control band here. Donald Trump, as you know, has taken fighting crime on. He went into D.C., where he reduced the crime significantly to the point where people, the mayor of D.C., it got to the point where the crime effort's working. But a lot of the Dems are like, crimes are coming down everywhere. You know, when Chicago's talking about crimes dropping, well, we normally have 9 murders a night. We're down to 8. That's not really a drop in crime. President Trump has made the offer to major cities if you want to bring in the National Guard or the military to help combat crime. He's willing to do it. Now, of course, a lot of these mayors are, we don't want this, or government, we're bringing crime down on our own. You're really not. He's announced his next town that he's going to, next city, is going to be Memphis, Tennessee, where they'll be bringing the military and National Guard there to fight crime. And, you know, if he's successful like he has been in D.C., I think all the major cities, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, where, you know, it's becoming a ghost town out there, San Francisco. I've never been there. My wife was. But, you know, I read and see. It's not a good situation there in San Francisco. I don't understand how any municipality or state would turn down free law enforcement to combat crime. Especially you got a case with Chicago. Chicago could pitch it any way they want. You got a crime problem there. When you have every weekend 7, 8, 9 murders and, 100 shootings, that's a problem. And you should be embracing the offer from the federal government to say, we'll send in the National Guard and military personnel to combat crime. Every one of these people that are shot in the street, you're turning down this offer, you're complicit then. I don't know why anybody would turn that down. You get free labor, free law enforcement. Are you serious? Come on. That causes not affecting your budget at all. And you're getting the criminals off the streets. You're getting guns off the street. It was a remarkable amount of guns the National Guard got off the streets. And again, the D.C. police, too. That's not disparage these guys. They were out there fighting crime also. But now, they were like 900 cops short of the level they should be at D.C. That's a defund the cops and let's do this. Listen, the police are our first line of defense. You need a strong police force. That's why I give Mayor Fulop credit in Jersey City. You got the police force back up to our old numbers where they were in the 70s and the 80s. They hadn't laid off anybody. I remember the layoffs were a common thing for a while in Jersey City with the police force and the fire department. We were closing firehouses left and right. I used to do it on the radio, the firehouse lottery, where the firehouses were closing. I'll give Mayor Fulop credit. He got the police force up to par, up to its the proper manpower. Same thing with the fire department. And I know there's some of the firehouses were closed for renovation, but he wasn't doing them on a rotating basis like it was years ago. I don't understand how any municipality wouldn't take the offer for free law enforcement. The National Guard and the military. Who turns that down? That's unbelievable. But now Trump's the feds are going into Memphis, going to clean up Memphis. It doesn't matter what time, whether in Chicago or the major cities. Yeah, if there's crime, you got to fight it. You know, when they talk about crimes down in the subway, BS. Crimes not down in the subways in New York City. Not happening. Let's rehash what's going on here. You got the Semper 5K run tomorrow here in Seaside Heights on Terrace. That's the first street off the boardwalk. You got Lucky Leo's is doing a lot with Broadway at the Lucky Leo's. You got tomorrow. You have the Dead on the Docks at the Beachcomber at 7 p.m. with Grateful Dub and Sister Nancy. That starts at 7 o'clock at the Beachcomber. I'm sure it's going to be a good concert. You gotta get tickets. You go on their Facebook. Just Google Dead on the Docks. All the information will come up. For Seaside Heights events, go to Exit 82. We're going to break for one more commercial, and then I'm at a show. You're listening to the Shore Show here, Seaside Heights edition. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and large inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
All right, I'm back. Pat O'Melia here. We are at a show. Take a ride down to Seaside. Come down for the day trip today. Stay overnight. Stay for the weekend. Go back Sunday night. You got good weather. You got good events. You might have a spot shower late Sunday, but don't let that deter you. I'm Pat O'Melia. You be good. You be safe. Enjoy the weekend at Seaside Heights. Talk to you next week. Goodbye.